Hey guys, Henry here, back at you again with another video from Path of Exile 2, and today I kind of want to talk about something that I feel that a lot of people may not be aware about, or maybe just haven't had the chance to make a decision on whether or not they want to buy it. But I want to talk to you guys today about stash tabs, and stash tabs might be something that you may want to invest in order to improve your quality of life within the game, and I kind of want to walk you guys through that in order to see if maybe that will help you guys make your decision. The one thing that I wanted to make aware to everyone in regards to the best kind of like the best bang for your buck type of deal is that if you had bought into the beta or the early access, they give you 300 coins to spend, and I recommend 3 specific tabs to buy right away that are under $300 or 300 gold, not dollars, but 300 gold, that I think will be the best in terms of providing you with what you need during your campaign, during your playthrough. So the first one is a currency stash tab, the second one is a gem stash tab, and the third is a premium quad stash tab. Now I'm going to go over all 3 of these plus a few more just so that you are aware of what's around and what's available. And from there, you guys can go ahead and make your choice. So if you take a look at my stash tab right here, you'll see that I have a bunch of stash tabs, and some of these are actually from PoE 1. In PoE 1, if you had bought, let's say, like a quad or a currency stash tab or like a delirium stash tab example, these are actually available for you for free in the second one. The only ones that are not available are for the mechanics or leagues that are no longer or not currently in Path of Exile 2. So, for example, like Blight is one of them. That's one that's not, or divinity cards are not yet available in this game, so you won't have a divinity card tab, but they will eventually add divinity cards. But the point is that whatever's not available in PoE 2 that was in PoE 1, the respective tab will not appear for that one. So first off, let's talk about the currency tab, or I've nicknamed it Orbs. To me, this is the #1 priority that you should buy in terms of stash tabs. The currency tab is the most important because it's the one that just helps with a lot of stuff. It helps with you organizing all the orbs that you're going to be using for crafting, for upgrading your gear and stuff like that. So you want to have a tab and kind of compartmentalize everything into one tab for currency. Now, one thing I wanted to kind of show you that this applies to all premium tabs. You'll notice there's actually a little symbol here that says affinity at the bottom right here. So what you want to do is the very first thing you want to do is, by default, this is off, but where it says affinity and then currency, you want to go ahead and turn this on. And each premium stash tab has their own unique affinity. And the reason why you want to turn this on, and I'll give you an example of how useful this is. So if I leave this, now let's say it's off by default right now. I just bought the tab, nothing's in here. But let me just take all my orbs and put them into my inventory. So I picked up a bunch of currency from my run. I just did a bunch of mapping, or I just did a bunch of quests, and I have a bunch of currency that dropped. I got really lucky, and I want to save these for later. And I don't want to normally when you have your stash open, and you kind of just, you put everything inside, whatever, right? Or you can control click to put everything inside. See how I control click, everything pops up and on the left. However, I don't want to have to shove everything into one tab and everything looks kind of messy and unorganized. So if you go to Orbs and you right-click the Orb tab or the Currency tab and you click on Affinity, Currency checkmark, even if I'm not looking at this tab and I'm on any other tab, if I do Control left-click on any type of currency item, notice how it didn't appear in the Stash tab here. It actually defaults to the Currency tab. So it's a very, very quick and seamless way of getting your items from one side to the other without actually having to look. You can kind of like just fire and forget, okay? So currency tab, #1. The next one you're going to want to get is a quad tab. And a quad tab, just like it sounds, is a tab that is 4 times the size of a normal stash tab. So it's a normal one that they give you. Like when you start the game for the first time, you get like 4 or 5 free tabs, right? Quad tab is 4 times the size of a normal one. So it's very good. You can fit 4 times the amount of loot. It's very useful. And you basically will use this for a few reasons. If you're doing a lot of mapping, or you just want to toss a ton of gear and you want to do like 10 maps before you even deal with any of the gear that you've picked up, just toss them all in here. Now, just like any other premium tab, and let's talk about premium for a second. So premium tabs let you actually name the tab and change the color, and you can actually make it what's called public. And the reason why this is useful is because if, let's say, you want to trade with other players, you can set a tab to be public and actually price items in said tab, And if you go to the, there's actually a website for this it's called pathofexile.com/trade2, and I'll even show you right here. So you'll see right here, there's actually a specific website designed for trading with other players, and it's kind of like the intermediary. And the way that you set that up is once you're in your stash tab, so what I'll do is I'll take the item from my inventory and I'll put it inside of my premium stash tab right here, hit public, and let's say, for example, I want to set all the items, whatever. So all the items in this one tab will go for however amount of currency you want to sell to the other player. So I want to sell all these items and I want exalted orbs in return, and I'll ask for 10 each or whatever. Like, just that's how it works. So it's a very easy way for you to set up an intermediary between you and other players to trade gear. It's a nice little addition. And just like the currency tab, you can set any affinity you want from any of the current item types or leagues that are available in PoE2. So I could have it set to currency and essence and flask. So anytime I control click any of those three, they'll appear in this tab right here. Next is going to be the gem tab. The gem tab is nice because you're going to be picking up a lot of, uncut gems regardless of the level. Same thing for spirit gems. Same thing for, buff gems, support gems, whatever. And they're organized by level and type. So anything that is a skill goes into its own tab. Anything that is an uncut skill gem, level 1, goes in here. 4, 6, whatever. It'll organize it into its own section. It's very good because you're going to be picking up a lot of these. So having everything categorized by level and type is very useful, of course, for when you're looking for something specific. You can also use the highlight items tab at the very, very bottom. And let's say I type in flame. Anything flame related will appear as its own gem and highlight for you, so it's easier on the eyes, right? It's very easy to find things. You can also organize it by base level, gem level, and the quality. But I would just leave it to base level for now. It's probably the easiest to look for stuff with. Now, everything else is kind of secondary, so I'm going to walk through the secondary ones. So next we have what's called an essence tab. This is good for when you find an essence. It's when you click on a minion that's frozen, and when you unfreeze it, it's basically like a rare mob, and you have to kill him and 3 or 4 of his little buddies, and he'll drop an essence, and this is used for crafting normal items into a magic item. And it comes with a what's called a deterministic mod. So if I want to craft an item with a very specific type of mod that I know will appear 100% guaranteed, that's what these are for. So if I want to craft a magic chess piece and I want it to have guaranteed life on it somewhere, you would use the essence of the body, etc., etc., etc. Next is unique tabs. There's actually a separate tab just for unique items. So again, I set the affinity, of course, to unique, check mark it, and then if I control left click, it appears in its own section. And you can actually sort this by type of weapon. And as you can see, I've got about, I would say like 7 or 8 different types of uniques that I've collected over my leveling with my characters. So they all go here, and you can also show it to like all of them, or owned, or not owned, or equipable, etc. You can also zoom in and out here on the tab itself. Nice little tool there for you. Next, we have Delirium, which is my personal favorite mechanic. Again, it's a premium tab, set the affinity. This is for when you want to store your bottled emotions and stuff related to the mechanic, but I haven't gotten to that part in the game yet, so I don't have any currency as an example, but you'll see what I mean once you start going there. But the point is that if you want to have Delirium in its own tab, this would be the tab that you do it in. And lastly, we have the Flask tab, and anything regarding life and mana goes right here. And you can sort it by quality, base type, and item level. And again, nice little place to put your flasks. One more piece of advice that I recommend that you guys do is that every week, just check to see what's on sale, right? They usually have sales quite often, whether it's tabs or, cosmetics or skill effects, whatever. Just check it every few days. There's usually some sort of sale going on or some sort of deal. In this case, there's a bunch of stabs on sale right now, so now's the time to buy a stash tab, guys. It's all on sale, whether it's for your guild or for your character specific. I'm not trying to shill for the company or anything. I'm just letting you guys know that there is something that's available for you guys to buy that I think can be quite helpful for you on your journey. And of course, that's it for now. I hope you guys learned something. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want to see any more types of tutorials or advice that you want me to give you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask below in the comment section. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.